In this training, we're going to talk about how to use the page builder. Now, inside of your funnel template, or if you're starting from scratch, that's fine too. Simply click on Edit Page. I've added a test page here just so I can show you how to start from scratch and show you around the funnel builder, give you an overview, explain to you how it works. So I'm going to start in the top left-hand corner here. You have the ability to basically build different versions of your funnels and pages. So just so you know, the page builder works the same whether you're building in funnels or in pages. Doesn't matter. You've got your desktop view and your mobile view, okay? And by default, whatever you build here is going to automatically appear here. So you don't have to go and build two separate systems, which is great. I'm going to show you how to edit the mobile view because you do want to optimize for mobile. That's really important. So that's what toggling those two back and forth will do. Your settings, pretty self-explanatory. Like most funnel builders or page builders, you've got your SEO metadata that you can update. You've got any special tracking codes if you're using some special JavaScript or whatever, on your pages. Custom CSS, you don't need to worry about this unless you want to pay someone to add, special fonts or special things to your website. Your page, obviously you can do, background image. There's a lot of templates. You may not see all the same things that you see right here because this is stuff that's been added. But if you go up here, you see the My Media drop down. You click that. You can click on backgrounds, Unsplash, Pixabay. These are free versions. So if I just typed in business, let's say for Pixabay, it's going to give me all of these that you can use. You could do the same thing with Unsplash, type in business. I don't know if there's going to be backgrounds, I think is ours. So that's probably why you're not seeing that, but literally could type in anything in here, fitness, real estate, and you have all of those images that are in there. One little pro tip that I'm going to give you, be careful about using these images as they are. They're really, really big. If you like the image, you can go to Pixabay and you can get it. I would take it over to Canva and shrink it down. A good standard background image for like a header image or something like that is probably going to be in the 1920 pixels by 1080, somewhere in that range. Don't worry, we're going to get into a lot more of the, making your funnels pretty. I'm just giving you an overview right now. So the background, if you want to set the typography for your funnel, you can do that here. So in other words, what that means is whenever you create, text, it's automatically going to have this. So you don't have to go and change the text manually every time to make it look the way that you want it to look. All right. So that's the setting. Obviously the pop-up, you can have pop-ups and you can open your pop-up settings and work with it, the same way that you would with anything else. Okay. You don't need to worry about this. This is if you're writing code. This is really advanced. Don't mess with that. So you basically, in your funnel builder, you have three core, not sections, but three core things that you're working with. You've got section, rows, and elements. So sections are like the main container of everything. The row is what's going to contain the element, things like headline, image, video, that sort of thing. So every funnel is going to have a section. So you just go to add a section and you can, experiment with the different widths. Typically what I will end up doing is a full width, and that's just going to mean it's going to stretch it across the page. And then you're going to add a row, and you can do 1 column, 2 column. So if you add a row, that's what you see there. The green is the section, and if I click inside the section, you see the settings over here, section settings, right? So now I can mess around with the section settings. If I click inside, and don't worry about the purple really is just it's part of the what contains the element. Now I'm in the blue, which is the row settings, so I can adjust specific things for that. Like if I wanted to change the background for it, for example, go back to transparent. You can add, things like borders. You can do a full border, and you can change the width and all the stuff that you could do or that you'd want to do. All right. So then obviously what you want to do is add an element, and I just clicked on headline, and there's lots of different elements that you can work with: subheadlines, paragraphs, a list, buttons. You can import one of your forms here. Everything, your calendar. If you've got like a custom embed code you want to use from a different calendar that you don't want to use inside of Elite360, or maybe something else that you want to embed in there, all of this stuff can be added. You know, the progress bar, if you're doing a low ticket stuff, this is your, you know, two-step order form, navigation menu, for example. But I just want to show you, you know, once I've, again, section settings, right? I can go out to the column, well, it's the row settings, right? And I can adjust things here. So I can do things like padding. I'm going to keep it at 15. I can do pretty much whatever I want, right? Then I click inside the orange. Now I'm in here. I'm in the settings for the element, right? And I recommend, you know, naming these elements as you go. It's going to make it a little bit easier as you're you know, messing around with your page. So I would do like main, header, headline, something like that, right? And here you can change the font size, okay? And you can change the font itself. If you want to do, you know, a custom font, you could do that. You could also choose from any Google font, you know, whatever you want to do. Now, remember earlier I said that you have the ability to do a mobile version, right? So let's say that's how it looks on desktop. That's great, but that's not going to look good on mobile. Watch. When I click on mobile, well, it's not terrible, right? Because, and why? Well, the reason is because as I click inside the orange, like if you ever get to a situation where you're saying, well, I just can't, you know, it's not coming up for me. How do I adjust the font? Well, it's probably because you're not clicked inside of the actual element itself. The orange is how you edit the text, the image, the videos, etc. But you see here where it says mobile font, this is where I can control that, right? It said get it on one line, right? And then if I go back, notice how it doesn't change that. So what's nice is you don't have to clone it, make it a mobile version only. No, you just leave it and you can just adjust the size based on the mobile size, okay? And then I always like to work inside the desktop view. It's just a little bit easier. So if I wanted to add, let's say, a subheadline underneath here, and I wanted to make this a little bit bigger, right? I can adjust the distance of where, you know, how far away it is. It's based on, you know, padding and whatnot, but you can also do things like line height, right? I can make this smaller. See how it's getting closer to up above. If I wanted it to do that, I can do that. And again, I can adjust the mobile size. So I probably would want to adjust the mobile size so it's a little bit smaller. I'm not getting into like, you know, the fancy stuff, but I'm just showing you guys the basics of how you can use the page builder, okay? If I wanted to add, you know, a 2-column row, and let's say that I want a video on this side, and let's say I want to add a form on this side. Now, I need to select a form. So let's say I select the main booking form that the opt-in form. Where did I find that? Remember, that was created for you in your snapshot, so it's already there. If you want to create your, you know, a different form, you would just go to funnels or sites, you'd go to forms and you'd edit it there, right? Sites and then forms and then builder. And that's where you would create a new one. If for whatever reason you don't see that there, you would want to refresh this page. The little blue dot or the little dot that you see right there is to remind you to save. In fact, a little reminder just popped up down here that says you have unsaved work. You want to save it. You're going to want to add, you know, a headline or a title. That's what appears on the little tab right there. You know, fill out the rest of the information if you want to, add a social image, and then update it and save it again. Okay. So those are the core features of working with the page builder. Guys, it's really, really simple. Yes, there's templates. You know, I'm going to get into some future training, how to make your site fast, how to make sure that it's professional looking. We'll get into other trainings on you know, some advanced stuff that you can do. But that's just a brief overview of the page builder. See you in the next training.